The 44-year-old is now coming off his 7th Super Bowl win, and he has dreams to keep on playing. Past 45, as he gets ready for the Falcons this week, he's suggested in a conversation with Gronk something we've never seen before, and it's not the sunglasses.
Can Tom Brady play until 50 years old?
Wow. Seems to be a really hot question lately. Can Tom Brady play till 50? Like 50 years old?
Yeah, 50.
50.
You're 44, that's 6 more years.
I don't find it so difficult. And plus in Florida, it's kind of a retiree state. So I feel like I can play and then just glide into retirement. I think I can. I think it's a yes.
I think in 2026 we might wear those sunglasses.
Yeah,
right? That's the future.
Maybe.
Maybe.
You're very poppy, like Big Poppy. Probably you got them from.
Oh, exactly. Titans defense is licking their wounds after being torched by Kyler Murray in the opener. They don't get a chance to catch their breath because they travel to Seattle to deal with the 12th man and Russell Wilson.
You know, they propose a lot of challenges, and we have to be really, really on our stuff. We got to be really understanding what they're trying to do, the different personnel that they bring in, the different fronts and all that, and, you know, and just continue to stay on the field. I think that's the biggest thing. You know, they do such a good job on the other end, on the offensive end, of running the ball and, extending out the clock and doing those kind of things too. And then we got to be able to, play great football. This is a playoff game. This is what it is in that sense. Great, two great teams going after it, and we have a lot of respect for how tough they are and how they play, and so we got to be our best.
You didn't think Russ was going to give any bulletin board material on how bad the Titans have been recently. Of course not. He'll go the opposite. He'll look at some notable odds from Caesars Sportsbook. Washington, a 3.5-point favorite to beat the Giants tonight. The Giants remain all in on Daniel Jones as the QB1 in New York going forward here. So, Jordan, let's just ask you right now, why do the Giants have so much belief in Jones despite an 8-19 record as a starter?
Yeah, the reason that story happened was because I'm hearing from coaches, front office, players, solicited, unsolicited, on the record, off the record, and they're all been so bullish on him that I decided, okay, they really do believe he's going to be a high-end quarterback. It's not just fluff. They're not just saying it for public. And the reason is, and the way it was explained to me, he has the work ethic. He has the smarts. He has all the physical tools. He can make all the throws. He's athletic. They're saying if he checks all these boxes, how is it that they look at this guy and they say, this guy will not be a high-end quarterback? And I had the conversation with Sterling Shepard, and I said, what do you see that makes you think that? And he said, you're here every day, Jordan. You see it. And I said, no one wants to hear what I say, Sterling. He said, look, if you don't see it, you're blind. So that's where the Giants are on Daniel Jones. They think he's going to be a high-end quarterback. It's just a matter of putting him in the right situation with the right players around him. Not going to be easy tonight. He's got a tough task against a really good Washington defense, but he's 4-0 against Washington in his career, 4-19 versus the rest of the league.
You mentioned right players. How about some guys that can block for him and give him some time? Jordan, thank you so much. Of course, rain, the storyline there, heading into the Washington-New York game. Let's go to Elle with much more on the breakdown of this offense.
Yeah, that's right, Kevin. We've got our Dan Orlovsky joining us now. We see how they feel about him. The Giants are all in. Are you a believer without a trace of doubt in your mind?
No.
Not in love.
I will start by saying this. The Giants have the worst and most archaic and antiquated offensive scheme in the NFL right now.
Okay, shout out for the alliteration.
Absolutely.
Right?
3 reasons why. There's no why to the what.
Okay.
Hey, what's the play call and why are we calling it? There's no rhyme and reason. It's like, let's just throw things against the wall and see if they stick. The second thing is, I never watch tape on this offense. Watch a guy make a play and think to myself, man, the coaching helped him make that play. The formation or the motion or the scheme, it's always, well, he just executed better than everybody else. And then Giants fans know this. You'll see this tonight. Everybody watching the game against the Washington football team. I can tell you exactly where Daniel Jones is going to be in the pocket every play. He's going to be 6 yards behind the center. They never changed the launch point for him. They never play action pass, move him to the tackle, maybe move him outside the pocket, set him up behind another guard. It's just the same stuff over and over again. It's painful to watch, and I love watching tape. Now, that being said, to Jordan's report and everyone thinking Daniel Jones is going to be a high-end starter, he has to stop panicking with the football. It was the flaw of his coming out of Duke. It has shown to be the case in his NFL career. I'm as big as anybody to say his offensive line isn't good enough, and his scheme stinks. You're the one with the ball in your hands.
Gotta protect it.
When it's time to panic with it or not panic with it, you gotta not panic with the football.
Yeah. By the way, because this is going to be said a lot over the course of the next couple of hours until kick, we know how bad the Giants are in Thursday Night Football. They've lost 5 straight Thursday night games. But I found a reason that they're going to win. You ready?
You're wearing Giants blue?
No. The last time they won on Thursday Night Football was September 24th, 2015. Do you know what the number 1 song in the country was then? It was close. It was Justin Bieber. Oh. Yes. Do you know what the number 1 song in the country is today? Justin Bieber song. This one's called Stay, which a lot of people were questioning if Aaron Rodgers should have done that after we saw that performance on week 1. Segue. Today we basically heard him say relax yet again, right? And that despite the fact that they lost by 35 points this season, that everything's fine and they don't really need to make any sweeping changes. Do you agree?
I agree with him. That being said, show me who you were last year.
Okay.
I mean, 2 things really stood out about this offense last year that made them special outside of the Aaron Rodgers play. They were the number 1 team in the NFL when it came to using play action pass while motion. They did it 6 times in the first 3 quarters last week. Aaron didn't play much in the 4th quarter. So go back to doing all of that stuff because it really was a big separator for you last year. And then, the offensive line had such cohesion last year. Well, they got 3 really new starters in place. It's going to take some time for those guys to kind of settle into each other, the verbal, the nonverbal communication, how they go to certain blocks. So I'm not in a panic mode, but I want to see them show a little bit of that creativity that happened last year for them. And I do think everyone needs to allow the offensive line and some of those new pieces to get together and realize how important it is to have that playing time and rep at the offensive line.
Is this your king? I always reference things that you don't understand, so I use Justin Bieber for you so that you would have something that you understand. So there he is. Look at him giving you looks, too. What's up, Dan? You could never be Biebs. By the way,
I couldn't.
Maybe the deodorant to any stinky start is facing the Lions.
I would sing if we didn't have to pay for the song.
Correct, and thank you for that. We'll be back with Dan a little bit later. He's going to talk some big AFC matchups in week 2.
Can I hum?